Good morning and welcome back to day one of NWR's Virtual Investor Conference, Series 11. My name is Max Don and I will be your host today. Up next this morning, we have Microba Life Sciences. Microba is a precision microbiome company driven to improve human health. With world-leading technology for measuring the human gut microbiome, they are driving the discovery and development of novel therapeutics for major chronic diseases and delivering gut microbiome testing services globally to researchers, clinicians, and consumers. This morning, we have CEO Dr. Reid presenting. A reminder, if you would like to ask questions, please do so via the Q&A function on Zoom. Luke, I will now hand it over to you.
Thank you, Max. Well, I'll kick off by just outlining, we all know a loved one that's been impacted by either cancer, depression, diabetes, inflammatory bowel, heart, or another debilitating chronic disease. Chronic diseases now affect 6 in 10 people and are actually the leading cause of death and disability worldwide. And what you might not know is that gut health, and more specifically the gut microbiome, which is the trillions of microorganisms that live in your gut, are actually a key missing piece in resolving many of these chronic diseases. And because of that, these organisms represent one of the biggest untapped opportunities to improve human health through testing, understanding, and then treating our gut microbiome. So at Microba Life Sciences, over the past 4 years, we've been building a world-leading precision microbiome company to unlock that market opportunity. And I feel like we're really now on the cusp of establishing a dominant global position in both microbiome testing and in therapeutic development from the microbiome to advance healthcare. Microba is not your typical biotech company. We're commercial stage, already delivering global revenues. We have 2 core business segments. We have our microbiome testing services that are delivering global revenues through an expanding distribution partner network. And we have our data-driven drug discovery platform that's generating multiple novel therapeutic assets. To give you a quick summary of the investment highlights, we operate with world-leading technology in an emerging market segment with strong growth. We've established global microbiome testing distribution channels with over 20,000 tests sold to date. We've established partnerships with large multinationals. We believe we also have the best microbiome databank in the world. And from that databank, we have our first drug candidate scheduled to enter a phase 1 clinical trial later this year. In addition, we have an exciting cancer program together with leading cancer centers across North America and Australia. We have another exciting drug program in partnership with a New York Stock Exchange listed company called GINKGO BIOWORKS, which I'll give you some more details about. And underpinning all of this, we have a truly world-class team, including one of Australia's most distinguished clinical scientists, Professor Ian Fraser, inventor of Gardasil, the cervical cancer vaccine, which is now a Merck-owned drug, which generates more than 3 billion in annual sales. So with all of this de-risking that's been completed, we felt it was the right time to accelerate our growth. So just last month, we completed a successful IPO on the ASX, which raised $30 million to support that growth. We have long-term supportive shareholders, including from across the globe, the United States, London, Hong Kong, Singapore. We have some of Australia's most well-regarded small cap growth funds, including Perennial, Thorney, and Allium. And through the IPO round, we also brought on a significant strategic investor in that New York Stock Exchange synthetic biology leader, GINKGO BIOWORKS. Our commercial model to unlock this market opportunity is summarized here. We deliver testing services globally to clinicians, consumers, and research clients, together with an expanding distribution partner network. These services build a large proprietary data bank through consented and de-identified customer data. We then mine that large data bank to discover and develop multiple therapeutics and ultimately execute big pharma out-licensing transactions on those assets. And the reason why we have such a competitive advantage in this field is because we have the world-leading technology for measuring the human gut microbiome. And we've demonstrated this technology as best in class, including through a recent peer-reviewed publication in Frontiers of Microbiology. And that technology enables us to deliver accurate and comprehensive microbiome testing services globally, and also identify therapeutics from the microbiome with precision. So now I'll take you through the three parts of our business: services, databank, and therapeutics, starting with our services division. We're building a leading microbiome testing company here at Microba through a globally scalable distribution partner model. We have a growing number of market-leading distribution partners that we've hand-selected to work with. And we have new partnerships recently executed in the US and Middle East, and an expanding pipeline, which we expect to accelerate our revenue growth. Here's what that rapidly growing distribution network looks like today. I'm just going to focus on the three recently executed partners. Firstly, with SYNLAB in the middle. They're Europe's largest pathology company. They're essentially the Sonic healthcare equivalent of Europe. And after a successful pilot last year, they've committed to a formal launch in Spain and are now expanding the partnership across a number of additional countries across Europe. We have two additional major distribution partners just recently signed, which are scheduled for launch shortly. Genova Diagnostics, signed just before Christmas. They're a leading GI pathology company based in the US, headquartered out of North Carolina. And that will enable us to access the US healthcare market. So we're excited to see that product launch into market before the end of this financial year. G42, another major distribution partner, just signed in February. They're covering the Middle East. They're a leading health tech company and health services company headquartered in Abu Dhabi. They're very well capitalized and recently raised $800 million led by Silver Lake to fuel their growth across the Gulf countries. So we also aim to see that product launch very shortly. And there's another new partner at the end there, which we hope to announce very soon. And then an expanding pipeline of new distribution partners for key regions that the team are targeting, including countries such as Canada, Japan, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Hong Kong, just to name a few. So we're really excited about this scalable business that we've been growing and the growth profile ahead for that international testing services business. In addition to the growing revenues from that international business, those services are also generating high value data, which enables us to discover and develop those novel therapeutics. We believe this is the most valuable microbiome databank in the world, and it's continuing to grow as our services grow internationally. This enables us to leverage machine learning and artificial intelligence approaches to discover and develop multiple novel therapeutics to address major chronic diseases. And we focused in on three key programs that we're executing today. We've established what we believe is a not only unique and proprietary, but a repeatable platform for drug discovery from the microbiome. And that platform enables us to develop drugs in a fraction of the normal time, leveraging our big data approach. We've established these three excellent drug discovery programs. Our first one on the left there in inflammatory bowel disease, where our lead candidate is currently being manufactured in Switzerland, ready for a phase 1 clinical trial scheduled for the end of this year. We have an exciting cancer immunotherapy program in partnership with leading cancer centers across the US and Australia, which represents a substantial commercial opportunity for Microba. And finally, we have a really exciting program, which we've just recently signed and initiated together with strategic investor and drug discovery partner, GINKGO BIOWORKS. And I'll give you some more detail on that exciting relationship. So GINKGO BIOWORKS are a Boston headquartered synthetic biology leader with around about a $4 billion market cap, essentially seeking to become the Google of biology in organizing the world's biological code and making it useful. They have some really well-regarded shareholders, including Bill Gates' private investment fund Cascade, together with Viking, Bailey Gifford, Tiger Global, just to name a few. They have some really big partners, including Roche and Bayer. And we've seen this as an exciting marriage, which brings together our therapeutic platform, our ability to find those key organisms that differentiate health and disease and represent potent drug opportunities, together with what's known as their GINKGO Foundry, which is a highly automated, large-scale synthetic and industrial biology facility based in Boston with those robots that you see on the slide. So this essentially enables us to move rapidly and with unprecedented scale, leveraging the GINKGO Foundry and the expertise of GINKGO BIOWORKS to develop these novel drugs and their supporting data packages. GINKGO BIOWORKS also invested $3.5 million into Microba's IPO as a cornerstone strategic investor. And then together, we're investing in a 2-year program of work to identify drug candidates for 3 key autoimmune conditions. So an incredibly exciting opportunity, particularly with such a validating and respected US partner. So just to go back, in total, we have 3 excellent therapeutic programs, and each of these programs represent a substantial commercial opportunity in their own right. In terms of big pharma deals, there continues to be strong deal precedents for microbiome-based therapeutics, with deals ranging between $500 million and $2 billion in total transaction value. So with Microba's progression into the clinic, our potent novel therapeutic assets and strong IP packages that we've developed, we believe that first big pharma deal is most certainly in our sights. So to summarize the key take-homes, we're building a leading microbiome testing company with new distribution partners about to launch and a growing pipeline to open up additional major markets, all accelerating those global revenues. We have what we believe is the best microbiome databank in the world, and leveraging that databank, our therapeutic platform is delivering multiple valuable therapeutic assets. Sorry, the lights have gone off on me. Setting up for those big pharma transactions. I'm excited about the year ahead and all of the news flow and key milestones and catalysts that we're unlocking. So we started the year with 3 big deals in Genova, G42 and GINKGO BIOWORKS, but there's much more to come. And I'm looking forward to a number of announcements in the near term. For our services business, those new distribution partnerships in the US and Middle East will commence operations and launch into market. We'll see further expansion throughout Europe together with SynLab, Europe's largest pathology company. The launch of a next generation version of our healthcare testing product, which we expect to drive more purchasing from existing customers, and expand the market to new customers. We hope to announce also additional distribution partnerships from that expanding pipeline of new potential partners that are targeting key major markets for our growth. And then on the therapeutic side of the business, we have a range of key milestones. For our IBD program, completion of our pre-IND meeting with the FDA, GMP manufacturing complete, human ethics approval, ready for that phase 1, and ultimately first dose in humans. For our cancer program, we aim to have initial data produced and in hand to support lead selection and our progression into preclinical validation of those candidates. And for our autoimmune program, in partnership with GINKGO BIOWORKS, we aim to have that well and truly into motion, developing those novel therapies to treat those 3 key autoimmune conditions. So I'll summarize and stop there and open up to questions, Max.
Thanks, Luke. First question, can you expand on the nature of your partnership with Illumina?
Absolutely. So Illumina are the world leaders in DNA sequencing technology. So they essentially have the core machinery that enables you to produce the raw data from a patient specimen, which we then ingest and transform with our technology to produce an accurate and comprehensive report on an individual's microbiome. So for Illumina, to fuel their growth, they want to work with the best partners that are expanding the use of their platform. And in the microbiome space, they've identified Microba as one of those key partners that's driving forward the use of high quality DNA sequencing that they produce to deliver microbiome testing services. So that's the nature of the partnership with Illumina. And it's a very fruitful partnership that's been on foot for a number of years now.
Thanks. And the next question is just, how stable is the microbial therapeutic interventions? So just the nature of those therapeutics?
So I think there may be two underlying questions there. So firstly, the stability of the microbiome. So the microbiome changes throughout our lives, and it also changes in response to changes in diet, medication, lifestyle, and other factors. So it is a changing community, and therefore the health benefits or health implications of those changes need to be monitored through time. And that's certainly the future that we see, where microbiome testing will be as routine as we see blood testing today. In terms of the therapeutics, what we're doing is we're identifying organisms that are very prevalent and abundant within healthy people, but missing in the case of disease, and then formulating them into novel drugs to be able to restore the healthy state. And in the case of inflammatory bowel disease, we've demonstrated that that's a very potent approach to dealing with not only the inflammation that we see in that condition, but also in healing the ulceration in the gut through epithelial restitution and mucosal healing. So it's an incredibly exciting opportunity to unlock these novel drugs from the microbiome, and we're looking forward to seeing the data coming out of the human clinical trials.
Sure. Can you talk about what revenue has been achieved to date, and without forecast, can you just sort of provide some context on how you see revenue growing with these global partnerships?
Absolutely. So $3.7 million was last financial year's revenues. But importantly, we've just signed those major distribution partners and are bringing on new countries with SynLab across Europe. So more major markets in Europe, signing and launch of our partnership with Genova Diagnostics in North America, opening up the US healthcare market, which is huge. And our partnership with G42, an incredibly aggressive company that are looking to expand rapidly across the GCC region. So although I can't state numbers, I can state my excitement for the growth ahead with those really fantastic distribution partners for those major regions.
Thanks. And one last one. Has there been any M&A or acquisitions talk, or is the space too new?
Look, we've certainly received interest in the past, and I expect us to receive interest in the future, but there is still so much opportunity in front of us. We will always reasonably have to consider those opportunities on behalf of shareholders, but we've got so much growth to unlock. So certainly not in that frame of thinking at the moment, although we do expect that with the interest in the space, there's going to be offers.
Thanks, Luke, and thanks for your time this morning.